Greetings, humanity, and welcome once more to Channel Otherdoc. I'm Jim, I use he, him pronouns, and this is our mini-campaign of Top of the World, a paranormal spy thriller that we're playing using the Rosette Diceless system. We're going to go ahead and go around and say hi to our players, find out who they are and who they are playing, and we shall start once again with Trooper. Hello.
Hello!
Sorry. I'm sorry.
Dramatic gesture. I'm TrooperSJP, and I'm so happy to be here. I am playing, as far as you know, Dante Jackson, who is a, as far as you know, an Easton tough kid. You know, young man, like 23 about, who is from Brixton, South London, and is super tough and dangerous, revolutionary type, and in no way is that a lie at all. There's nothing else going on with him in any way, and and he is part of this team right now, trying to figure out what happened with the man. I mean, their boss, who he doesn't care about because whatever. But hopefully we can find out what happened to the man and maybe avoid an interdimensional incident with Nessie and the Fey Courts. Hopefully.
One can but hope. It's, yeah. We'll have to see. Now let us go over to Daisy. Hello.
Hello, my name is Daisy Grant. I'm an artist that you can find on the internet. Tonight I am playing Vasilisa Novakova. She is a controller and handler of evidence for the agency known as the Exchange. And she's a bit of a social butterfly in attempts to make everyone feel good and happy and positive about their self-image and capabilities. Oh, and my secret question, should you be curious, members of the audience, is do you feel any guilt about your actions on that fateful day? And one of these players knows the answer to that question. So back to you, Jim.
Yes. I do see that that we have some random individual in chat asking if we know the PC's secret questions.
Totally random.
It's totally random and not at all one of the designers of the game.
I suppose I should say mine then. If
sure.
If Brian, okay, I mean, I feel like mine, don't even worry about it, is why haven't you ever taken anyone home to meet your family?
Yeah.
This is good, yeah. We have in this game, there are secrets that are part of the mechanics of the game. And these are things that the question is out there, but we don't know the answer until such time as they decide to reveal it in the course of what we're doing here. And when that happens, then that gives them that gives them a bit more of a chance to take down the adversary. In this game, the adversary is the search, but we shall get more into that in a moment. First, now let us head over to Melissa. Hello.
Hello, it's me. I'm Melissa Avery-Weir, and I am playing Ivory Brand, who is an American Black woman on loan from the CIA, who I have not said what her job is, and I think I will continue to not do so quite yet. But she's always impeccably dressed in a three-piece suit, lots of flair, and is a solid career woman. She's in her 40s. She's not particularly young. She's been doing this a while. And her secret question is, why won't you talk about what you did on your last American mission?
You see, very true. All right. And now let us head over to Brian. Hello.
Hey, I'm Brian Krux. My pronouns are he, him, and I'm playing Digger Bly. I think on paper he's listed as a retrieval specialist, or maybe a lineman, given that we're working for the telephone exchange.
Yes.
I have just decided that's what we're going to call our field operatives now. But anyway, my secret question is, why are you continuing to work with the Exchange despite having completed the time required as part of your sentence? Because Digger, basically his choice was prison or work for the man. And most people don't even know that, technically his time is up. And he doesn't have to do this anymore.
Yeah, definitely. It's most mysterious. But we shall see if we find that out. We don't know, but perhaps we shall. And now let us finally head over to Emma. Hello.
Hello, I am Emma. I am playing Jan Janssen, a young Icelandic man with a penchant for nuclear accidents, and boating as well. Yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited to play him in my head. He's got real like Willem Dafoe energy, but young. So we're gonna go with that. My secret question is, why haven't I reported a critical piece of information that I heard over surveillance? Dun dun dun.
Yes.
May I ask a question?
Yes.
When you say young Willem Dafoe energy, do you mean like Willem Dafoe as the villain in the musical Streets of Fire, the rock and roll fable? Is that the energy?
I'm
that,
not
that you're
familiar.
giving?
In my head, I was thinking more Willem Dafoe in The Lighthouse, but about 23.
Okay.
If that works, if anybody's seen.
Yeah. But if you haven't seen Streets of Fire from the 80s, maybe you might want to.
I do now. I cannot possibly agree with you more, Trooper.
It's a musical with Willem Dafoe?
I mean, they don't sing, but it's one of those musicals where like one of the characters is in a band, so there's a lot of music.
There's a lot of music.
Oh.
And the music is produced by Jim Steinman, who you might know for being the person who produced not only Meatloaf's big epic tunes, but also Total Eclipse of the Heart, I Need a Hero. So you're looking for things like music with 14 pianos and also thunderclaps in it.
Yep.
Can't have enough
Making
pianos.
a note. Streets of Fire.
I'm containing myself from singing right now. Like, I'm feeling it.
I need a hero.
I'm holding out for a hero.
And big choirs. Yeah.
I know.
Me.
Welcome to the musical episode of Top of the World.
Yeah.
I am underqualified for this.
Also, I just in case anyone knows, I am a tad under the weather today, so I may be I may seem a tad less exuberant than usual, but I shall be in this as long as I can. But let me see. Also, as a reminder, like we do with the other games on this channel, we're going to be using the X card, the N card, and the O card. If we hit something that's crossing a line for one of us, any of us can type an X in the Zoom video chat or anywhere else, hold up a card or make an X symbol, and we'll back up and do something else. If something happens that we're okay having in the game, but we don't want a graphic description of it, we can type an N in the Zoom chat and we'll fade to black on it or put it behind a veil, so it'll be there, but we won't go into detail. Finally, if we're exploring a topic or an area of roleplay that's particularly intense for us, but we want to keep going anyway, we can put an O in the chat to let us know we're okay and that we're all good to keep piling on the drama. Something else we can do is put an O with a question mark after it when we're moving into a difficult topic, or we say or we do something and then think, maybe that might have been a little too much. Then everyone else can respond to that with an X, an N, or an O to let us know if we're still doing okay. We're also using the pause. If any of us needs to take some time, we can ask for a pause in the game while we discuss things, or just take a break for as long as anyone needs. Now, as a reminder, just a few content warnings. This game may contain references to nationalism, betrayal, death, surreal imagery, and Cold War-era conflicts. You can see that message is on a timer in the chat, but if you want to see it at any time, you can type !TopCW, and that will come up. And also, please remember that we have an open door policy, which means that any of us and any of you can feel free to step away from this at any time if we need to. It is just a game, and mental health is always more important. And I think before I forget, given what's just been talked about, I will say that as part of my my research for this, I watched a ton of various types of spy films, and among them was one that because in many ways because of Daisy's character, one that I remembered having seen part of back in the 80s was White Knights, which is starring Mikhail Baryshnikov and Gregory Hines. And I swear, any excuse they have to have them dancing is a thing that happens.
Yep, I have watched that movie
pirouettes.
many times.
I don't know. What can we do? I don't know. I feel like there's a spy there in the corner. What if we dance to distract them? Yes, let's.
Doesn't that have Phil Collins doing Separate Lives on the
I think so.
soundtrack?
That's the one.
I think so.
Yep. I know this film very well.
The soundtrack, and I am not lying, the soundtrack to that movie is nothing but bangers. It is incredible.
Well, it was a funny thing too, just because that every point where they do have them dancing, they do think of a sort of an in-world. It's all diegetic. There's an in-world excuse for them to actually be doing it.
Well,
so
they are
it
playing
does make
dancers
sense.
at least.
Yeah. Well, yeah. So I mean, that's totally makes sense.
Look, how do you solve the Cold War?
Lots of dance numbers.
Dance, and also Elton John singing Nikita. I just feel like that's how you solve the Cold War. A little bit of Elton John, a whole bunch of dance.
It's fair. It's very fair. But in any case,
unfortunately, this game is pre-perestroika. We have to.
Yeah. It's fair. It's very fair. So, when is this? This is set in 1975. This is an alternate version of our reality. It's a 1975. We're in the UK, and there is also a sort of a thin veil between this reality and another reality that is a realm of pure thought, the astral realm, and it is a place where beings composed of thought exist, various beings that represent other things, and so we are going to find our agents, who that all of whom are extraordinary, but a few of whom may have extraordinary abilities beyond the ken of most humans. Chasing down another such agent, a powerful telepath, who we're not sure what his situation is. Morgan Finley has gone off the map. He's gone up to Inverness, where their agency's mystical switchboard, cannot sense him. He's taken with him an engineer who has all the plans in his head for Project Cheveline, which involves an upgrade to the UK's nuclear warheads. And so they're now trying to find out what happened. As no
GM?
one... Yes.
When you say upgrade to the UK's nuclear weapon systems, don't you mean an idea of sending nuclear weapons through the astral realm where maybe there might be beings that would not appreciate it? Was that what you meant? That
suggestion did in fact come up in a meeting, and a little engineering meeting that they had a few months ago, a little while ago, month or two, I can't remember anymore how long ago it was, but not too long ago, and the lead engineer, Keegan Walker, took to that idea quite a bit, liked it quite a lot, and they started working on, how do we do that? And so that may also be part of the plan at this point. We're not sure what they did with it afterward, but they needed to. That's the thing. The trouble. The upgrade system wasn't going to fire the missiles as far as the previous missiles, so it's a thing. It's all part of the Polaris missile system, is the current system in 1975 that the UK is using. All of their nukes being on the submarines deployed from Her Majesty's Naval Base in Clyde. I actually, strangely enough, have a map that I can show for a brief moment. Although, actually, no, I don't have Clyde on the map. It's not on there. Never mind. But if I start zooming out gratuitously, who knows what'll happen? But yeah, it's just sort of the west side of the UK, up in Scotland. But yes, they are now speeding their way up toward Inverness. A conflict is in place at this point, so we are going to be going around, and we're going to be taking turns. I have randomly put their names and the name of the adversary on these cards, and that will tell us the order in which they appear. I also might suddenly be introducing extras or experts at any point. We'll see. A lot of things will have to do with the. We'll have to see how things time out. So,
in a conflict, we have like things we can get, and then like bad things could happen, like there are consequences for losing, right?
Indeed. As a reminder, the goal that I have listed here is to just uncover the truth about the situation. And other people have individual goals they would like to meet, if at all possible, as a result of that, depending on what happens with Finley, and the KGB agent they suspect he might be communicating with. And the consequence that was agreed upon is a not cold war, a hot war with the region, the astral realm of Inverness, called the High Cairns, and potentially the Russians will get Cheveline, possibly. But whatever happens, the PCs get blamed, and so that is currently what is on the table. So the thing I now, a couple of questions I'm going to have before we actually approach Inverness itself. One of them is that I believe that Vasilisa called ahead to contact someone. That is the husband of her cover identity, Lilibeth, who owns a family roadside diner. To kind of have help, might need to help house and feed folks. You folks are also going to, if you want it, there is an option for a hotel that's in town that they can book you at, but it's totally up to you. If you want to use that, or if you want to use the stay at the diner, or both, you want to split up. Entirely up to you how you want to do this. Do you have Lilibeth's husband's name by any chance?
Yes, Banner Wallace.
Banner Wallace. Do you happen to know the name of the diner?
Eat Here.
That is a very simple and straightforward name. I think that works out beautifully. Let me go ahead.
That's more romantic in Scots.
Probably does. Now, I was going to ask about where we want to put it. You said it's a roadside diner. I was thinking, so if it's a roadside diner, would it be just like a little bit outside of town, maybe?
Yes.
I was thinking maybe a good spot for it might be across from the Grouse and Trout. Is this inn that's very close to, within walking distance of the Loch. Apparently, according to what they say. It sort of is, yeah. But
they have good trout.
Apparently they have good trout. So I was thinking about placing it like across the street from there. That is still, it's a little bit of a ways from city center. But as we say, somewhere like around there, sort of in just before you get into Inverness proper a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Awesome. What I'm going to do is I'm actually going to, let me go ahead and put it on the, let me show folks what I'm talking about, by the way. I have a map that folks will see here. I'm going to go ahead and put the grouse and trout on the map. Which is, it's an inn. But I'm figuring that might, that way that'll sort of give us an idea. Is that too far to the south, or is that okay?
That's okay.
Okay. All right. Because I figured it wouldn't be quite in Inverness proper. It would be, sort of before you can get into. They want to get you before you. They want to get the tourists before they get into town. I would figure, to come forth and dine. So you'll have that as a thing that you can be used. Also, I think that was there someone who had wanted to, and we didn't do this last time, but I remember it being brought up before we dive into the turns here. Did someone want? I believe that I'd been asked. Dante had mentioned wanting to have a conversation on the way up. Is that still something you want to take care of, or do we want to dive in?
I think mostly like, hey, what are we doing? Like, it's not a big deal, but just like checking in with each other, since we've heard some. There's some questions out there, and somebody fainted when they heard about a certain KGB agent, and I don't know, maybe I just want to check in to see how people are doing. I don't know.
I had locked my knees and I was standing very rigidly, and my circulation got poor. It happens. Bad habits. But I had orange juice and water, so I feel much better now.
That doesn't sound like a, truthfulness, but I mean, I'm just saying, if there's something, if this fella's trying to murder you or something, like maybe you should let us know if we should do a punch up or something,
I don't think anyone has plans to murder me. There's no motive.
Well, is nobody else worried about the fact that, I mean, we're a team, right? If there's something we should know, we should probably know it. If something's relevant to the job or something, if it's not relevant, it's personal. And of course, we don't got to share that. It's like personal things are sort of off limits, but like if it's sort of job related, then maybe, we could help.
Okay, I'll come clean. So many years ago, I knew a man, and this man, he often sought power. He sought power over me. And if I hear his name, I do not feel very comfortable. And recently I have suspicions that this man has been trying to get in contact with me, leaving little notes here and there, a lot of signs. I have my own intuition. I'm not a psychic, but I have an intuition. And my intuition says that this man has intent to take me back to Mother Russia.
Oh, well, all right. Well,
he's a very little man too. He's very little.
Right, yeah. Well, we're not going to let that happen. We're not going to let anybody take you. I mean, you're one of the team, right? So
you're getting stalked.
Yeah.
That's no good.
No, it is very much the opposite of good. It is bad. And however, he has sought power so much in his life that he has obtained a great deal of it. And though we might want to contest him under the rules of the Marquess of Queensberry, I have a feeling it is best to shoot him with a gun.
This is also good information for us to know. I mean, like right now, you're giving us information. So all you're saying is we should just shoot this fella with a gun, is what you're saying.
Just shoot him.
All right.
I would never condone an act of violence. I am a bit of a pacifist. However, if he was to get shot and die from his many bullet wounds, I think I would be okay with that, and so would the rest of the world.
Oh, you mean we should all shoot him then? Many bullets. We should all shoot him.
If many bullets happen to shoot him from many directions, it would be very difficult to determine who fired the bullets, and we would all be in it together.
Look, I got a bit of a question though, because I've got a bit of a concern. It's not about the shooting a fella. That's not the concern. The concern is what you're saying is this fella is like a bad lad, right? And he's so bad that we should all shoot him. But it looks like he and Mr. Finley are well acquainted, are friends, are buddies. And so that makes me a bit concerned that maybe our trainer, the fella that trained us, might not realize that he's friends with somebody who might be a little bit, off. So that seems distressing.
We may want a different plan of action too, because now that I think about it, sometimes when men who have such power get shot by many bullets, it creates incidents of an international level, and we're trying to prevent wars and not start them. I'm sorry, I'm very bad with plans.
John just says it's a complete non sequitur. Yeah, they think he's turned.
But I mean, there's no evidence for that. They just jump into conclusions.
No, yes, you're right. I heard them though before all this.
Oh yeah.
What do you mean?
They asked me to work on a lot of things. They asked me to work on some surveillance lines, and I heard that that's what he was doing. I don't think I believe it. I think he was a good person.
Hey.
I don't want to shoot anybody.
Yeah, you would prefer to blow them up with the powerful explosives.
Listen, radioactive energy harms people without it necessarily being explosive. Wasn't intentional.
We don't need Jan to worry about the explosives.
No. I mean, I can. They already had me meet about all this, sending nukes.
True enough.
Into space. But
Digger doesn't say anything. He just makes eye contact with Ivory for a second and then smiles and turns away.
Well,
I'll say there's more behind the idea that there's someone in the agency who has turned. So that's it's not just today that this kind of talk is going around.
I ain't heard nothing about this at all.
Stick around. Soon they'll tell you things.
I mean, I know I'm new. I've not been here that long,
Right. Officially, they'll tell us nothing. But they will hint, and they have.
yes.
so I think we're going to go ahead and jump into our turns here. And also, as a reminder for folks that we called out the secrets at the beginning. When you want to actually reveal the secret mechanically on your turn, then you can use that, and that will actually you'll automatically hit in your attack on the on whatever you're aiming at, be it the adversary or an extra or an expert. But then it will be known to everyone. So the in the order as it happens, I've got Ivory Brand up first, and we can say you folks are heading into. If you like, we can say you're heading into Inverness proper, or you can. Well, it's up to you to steer at this point. Tell it. Where are we? What are we doing?
What's the vibe, particularly with regards to Ness?
Okay, so as far as you're able to tell, nothing happens when you cross over.
Okay.
In the vehicle into the area. I think that as you're sort of trying to sort it out, as you're sort of heading up there, sort of waiting to see if anything happens. Those of you who might be sensitive to the astral plane can kind of feel when you've crossed over, so it's kind of like just sort of walking into, like, you were outside and now you're inside, basically. Like a big tent almost.
Yeah.
Is sort of the feeling of that without actually having there, just sort of that slightly oppressive layer down there. And
Okay.
yeah.
Is there a normal, quote unquote, way in which we would communicate with the switchboard if we were on a mission?
So generally, she can ping you. She probably so it's a thing where normally she contacts you if unless you have some telepathic reach or other, then it's something that you don't normally contact her. Usually, the way that you keep in contact with back home is more through more mundane means. Otherwise,
Okay.
you do have there is a spot, by the way, where they did set up a secure line. That they do have stuff in Inverness.
Yeah.
The exchange has put a little bit of stuff in there.
Yeah.
The secure line that they've set up for anyone who might be wondering is on the map. It is the Innis Bar, and which is sort of on that northerly bend on the right hand side of the River Ness, and that's basically a place where you can go in where the phones are, and there's a thing there's basically a thing you can do.
Okay.
Adjust the position of the phone, and it's like, yes, I have now got a direct line down there.
So did we flew here for speed purposes?
You flew to the naval base, and then they rented a car for you from there.
Okay. What angle do I want to take first? Going first is always the toughest in an investigation. No, hey, I'm here for it. Okay. I have that we want to sort of talk to whoever saw Finley leave, but they would be at the base, right?
Yeah, you've already had an opportunity to talk to the gate guard at the base. And
That's
people
right,
at the base.
Gate guard.
Yeah, no one at the base remembers Finlay being there.
Right, but there was that maybe actually that the fellow wasn't driving.
Yeah,
right?
the gate guard.
Right, there's that.
Imagined
I asked the silly
that
question.
Walker must have been the one driving.
Yeah.
Because otherwise, that would be ridiculous if Walker wasn't driving because he was alone.
Of
And
course.
he drove off in his car.
Okay. I mean, do I just want to say hi to Ness? Yeah, let's see if we can knock on the door effectively.
Okay.
And I want to do so without pissing off the scary entity. So that's right. We brought books. We brought books on local. I mean, it sounds like it's local myths, local whatevers.
Mm-hmm.
Do I sprinkle some salt in the river and do a dance, or what? So let me make an attack that is, I think this is going to use. Okay, this is going to be a boy. How long has it been since I played my own system? Thanks, pandemic. This is going to be a bold attack, boosted with my psychic training skill.
Okay.
And I'm going to use an edge of prior research.
Okay.
Is our adversary? I guess you can opt to reveal this or not.
Yeah.
Is our adversary Ness?
The adversary is the search.
Okay, then.
And
then
Ness,
I'm
I haven't
the search.
turned into an expert at this point because it's not currently. They're not currently involved. If they get involved, something might happen. We'll see.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
They're not blocking your way at this time.
Okay. So
But yeah,
so
you
yeah,
can
this
certainly
is
try to get something from them.
all right. So that is a mind attack of 6.
Okay. Let me let me actually open the adversary. Okay. Mind attack of 6 against what are we wanting to hit here? Do you think is this more on as you're trying to do the search here?
Let's see. Okay, so I think it depends. If the research that I have suggests that like I need to shock Ness into like appearing, right? Like I'm trying to like startle, then that would be an attack on nerve. If I am trying to maybe coax cleverly, then that would be an attack on wits. So I know next to nothing about Scottish stuff. Ivory's a bold sort. So let's go against nerve. Let's take some like
all right,
a little bit of oomph to the situation and see if can I demand? Can I, do something like that?
Okay.
Is there a means so that I don't know if this game has it or not, but can other players give a boost or a bonus to the person who's making an attack? Is that a thing?
Not directly. So you could leverage your tie as the mechanism to boost. And that would, kind of effectively offer that kind of collaborative sort of thing.
Yeah. And so that's a way when someone is when it's your turn and you've got a tie with someone else that you think could help in this situation, then you can pull them in on that basically. So I think that let's see, your attack is 6, and let me go ahead and actually pull up one of these. Let me pull up one of their character sheets just so that I can have I like to have the Rosette symbol in front of me so that it helps me to remember how the things go, what the different things add to, so that it's there. There we go. Okay, so you said this is going to be more on nerve, you think? Did you say, or was it wits? Or vigor?
I think nerve. I think Ivory's going to take a bold approach, assuming that there's something in the research that
you've got that. So we'll say that you uncovered something. You've got something in in your the how to deal our current standards and the exchange's current standards and practices for dealing with the Loch Ness monster.
And also that one fairy tale we found buried in the back of it.
Yeah, and the fairy. Yeah, there's certain. There's a story about what is the thing is Saint Columba coming and fighting her and forcing her back into the lake is a kind of a big deal. So that's a thing that can often be used to perhaps to take her off. I feel as though I can probably extend that to just sort of Christianity in general. Because that's who was representing that. But,
hopefully still less taking off. Hopefully not just getting killed right in the middle.
But yeah, so are you doing something that's sort of like we know there are these problems in the world and we're not one of those, but we would like to find information out. That kind of deal?
Yeah, and we have questions, come chat with us. We're cool. We're interesting. We'll be something you haven't seen before.
So, the adversary is going to use. Let's see. Trying to think if I have anything I want. The adversary has anything I want to boost with for this. I have one thing I could boost with, but I feel like I want to save it. So this will get through. You're attacking with an edge?
I am attacking with the edge. I'm using the edge of prior research. Prior research.
Which you did. You went and looked for it. Okay. You're going to do 2 boxes to the adversary. What does this what does this ritual or whatever you perform look like? You basically the main point of access, they told you, is Castle Urquhart, which is about in the
Okay.
middle of the lake. The Loch, I should say. And you're supposed, so you have to go in there and do something. What do you do?
Okay. Let's see. Gotta think bold. All right, I go in there, I set down my briefcase, pop it open. I pull out 2 sparklers, like 4th of July sparklers, and my notebook, inevitably, my lab notebook that goes everywhere. I pull out, I've got one of whichever book I'm referring to for this particular practice. And I pull out a stick of chalk, like what you'd use on a sidewalk. And I light the sparklers and like awkwardly hold them a little bit in one hand. And I draw something on the ground that is probably a word, but is very painstakingly copied. And I start reading with a degree of confidence that no one should have for a language that they do not speak and have rarely ever heard spoken. And I start reading what I probably think is some mixture between a poem and an incantation out of this book that is not in English, but I do it very boldly, very loudly, and with a lot of gusto. And then while holding these sparklers and trying to look like I know what the hell I'm doing.
All right, so you stand there, and everyone can see this. Basically, I figure you folks have gotten some of your stuff there at put some of your stuff up at Eat Here. You had a chance to go in and already to go in if you needed to and meet with Banner, so. Some of you, if you want, could have stayed there. Some of you could have gone out with... Is anyone out there with Ivory at the time that this is happening?
Oh, God. Please don't listen to me shout in Gaelic.
Absolutely.
Oh, my God.
Come on.
Scots Gaelic? I don't know.
Scots Gaelic. Yeah, Dante
there's
follows
no way Dante's
Ivory
not there.
around a lot. You know what I mean? Like, Dante's like, what is Ivory doing? I'll be there. Because,
Yeah.
Okay.
Absolutely.
So,
Terrible.
you perform this ritual...
Mm-hmm.
And it takes a moment, but then this breeze picks up, and the castle is largely ruins, so it's there's plenty of airflow.
So my voice has been echoing
But yeah.
in this space.
So, I imagine you're in a room that you're in this room, this wider sort of courtyardish chamber, maybe, where you're doing this, where you got a view of the Loch.
Mm-hmm.
This mist rolls in, just comes up from nowhere and rolls in from the Loch, and it gets very thick. It comes in straight up into the courtyard. And seems to fill the opposite side. And you hear something, this slow sort of sound of thudding, this slow measured thud that gets closer, like perhaps thudding footsteps.
I'm going to... I have the 2 sparklers. I'm going to reach... I'm going to hold one out. See if it takes it.
From within the fog that is now taking up the entirety of the opposite side of things, this sort of this curl of the fog reaches forward and grabs the sparkler for a moment and pulls it in. And you can see this light sort of dims, and then you see these 2 points of light appear that are about a good, like 7 or 8 feet above where your heads are. These 2 points of light, these large orbs, appear in the fog, and you can sort of see something sinewy moving in the fog, sort of standing there.
Perfect.
And it stands there looking at you. This very shadowy shape.
We have some questions. And whoever's turn is next can do.
What? Oh, okay. So you just did something, and you wanted to sort of leave. You're gonna leave the line open.
Yep.
Yeah, you've got
the line
the-
open.
You have Nessie's attention.
Non-violently.
Non-violently. Nessie is. Nessie will say to you, "Speak." But you want to hold on it, then the next.
Communication is its own challenge, I will say.
Thank you. If you want, the next person now, they don't have to be necessarily. Now, this is the cool thing. We can hop around if need be, so we can go back and forth. This ritual could have taken some time if we need to, so like I said, not everyone has to be in the same place. But the next person to come up is Vasilisa.
Oh,
So where are you, and what are you doing?
Vasilisa is in the process of leaving a dead letter drop for Olegovich. But I believe she's probably going to be intercepted by one of her companions in the act, and probably planning the inevitable assassination. Bullets. I changed my mind again. More bullets. Very confused. So Vasilisa is departing the abode of Banner Wallace, which is attached to the diner. She lets him know that I just have to do a little bit in town, and I will be back. I know I have been gone for many weeks taking care of my sick mother in London, but I will go to the town, and then I will be back shortly. Meanwhile, I want to plan a meeting with Olegovich in a particular barn of my choosing. Secluded, out of the way.
Something that I have just remembered, that I want to make sure, because once again, I'm also getting back used to how this system goes. It's been a little while, sadly.
I'm brand new.
That I forget. Well, no, that I forgot to mention during Melissa's turn. Was Melissa would be doing 2 damage. I'd actually like to take one of those as a
As an affliction.
an affliction. Thank you. Good God. I can't remember things. So that it's 1 stress and 1 affliction. And the affliction is Nessie knows.
Uh-oh.
So that is the thing that people can use if they find a way to use it. If they want to just sort of hit automatically using that, then that's an affliction they can prey on. But I think that if they use that, they can't use anything else. So it's only going to do 1. It would only do 1 stress. Is that right, or is it? Or is it that's like combined with another thing and then?
You can still use an edge when you're.
You still use an
targeting.
edge to actually. Yeah, okay, that's right. Because then that's how you can make it actually do damage with it. But it will wipe out the affliction, but then it will do it. Okay, that's right.
So I guess to explain to fellow players, when you would take stress, so when the conflict, or when the adversary comes at us, you can choose instead of taking a box of stress to take an affliction, and that's sort of the blank slot next to the box on your sheet. And an affliction is some way in which you are affected. So maybe you're shaken, maybe you're nervous, maybe you dropped your pistol, like something that's like a way in which you are now more vulnerable to attack, socially or otherwise. And you can. Let's see. I would say you can only take one affliction per attack. Greg, correct me if I'm wrong on that. You can't fill up afflictions. I think if you're taking 2 stress, only one of them can be an affliction. And similarly, those can be targeted by the adversary, so they can leverage the fact that you are shaken and auto hit. No numbers involved. So. Use that to play around with the fact that it looks like you only have 3 stress, but in fact you have kind of 6 status situations there.
Yeah.
There's really disorganized description. I'm sorry.
We'll get there. But yeah, so that's available, folks, just so you'll know. And anytime you want me to repeat any of these things that where the adversary is or what the what afflictions they have, let me know. Vasilisa is going to try to use the dead drop to try to find a way to contact Olegovich. Wants to talk. So where do you want to where do you want to go to do this? How do you want to set this up?
No doubt, the drop itself is. I think we're all well connected. And there's probably a library in the big town, or rather a collection of villages, because, Scotland. Yeah. There's a place they keep books, sometimes more than 5. So it's one of those things. Vasilisa is returning a book. There's a very specific book that we return when we're spies leaving dead letters. And it's a banned book that has been burned many years prior. However, the library does not burn it. They keep it because, well, it's for the spies' use. The book is not written in any script that we know how to read. So Vasilisa would make her way. She would return and drop off the book. If the book ever is returned, there is a number that is dialed. I don't know who's being dialed or how, but if we need to get in contact with the KGB, this is the best way for them to do it.
Okay. So do you want you want this to be a library that's in town or a little bit out of town?
It would definitely be in the collection of villages. Town is so big and formal.
It's fair. You want it close to the river or away from the river, I guess, is the question.
Close to the river.
Okay. So Inverness Library. I'll go ahead and mark that also upon ye map, so that we can have that available in Fairlane Park. So yeah, you can definitely go there and set that up. And I guess so. Do you want to make then an attack that will sort of determine if you're able to, or toward the idea of being able to get in touch and that going well, basically?
Absolutely. And I do it in the way Vasilisa knows best. She definitely knows how to get a man interested, and just ambiguous enough that he's willing to lean in. However, direct enough that his guard will be down. Vasilisa's ready to come home.
Interesting. Okay.
Oh.
Yes. In fact, the way that's communicated, in fact, the cipher and the code we do, as you know, Jim, but not everyone here, Vasilisa has been receiving she's been noticing ads, personal listings, etc. And they're all addressed to the titles of different ballets that I've choreographed. And so I think I copy the musical notation of certain movements from the ballets, and just sort of leave the annotation. He'll know what it means.
Okay, so this sounds like this is either a charm attack or a mind attack.
Charm.
You thinking more? Well, yeah, given who your target is, yes. So, and I assume this is probably on his, you're trying to attack the nerve of the at least the situation. This is something that's going to advance the. I have to decide if I want to split him off as an expert right now, or if I want to just have this applied again to the search overall. Because this is is this something you're doing in interest of trying to work on this mission? Is that a thing, or is this?
Yes, and I'll explain how and why. So I had the objective that I proposed of splitting off Finley from Olegovich permanently, if possible.
Yeah.
Maybe he doesn't die, but maybe we tie him up. Maybe he has to work for the rest of his life at the roadside inn.
Okay.
Maybe he and my husband fall in love. They raise a family together. I don't know.
Who knows?
That's for them to discuss.
So, do you want to? So you get to decide if you want to make a bold attack or a sure attack. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I was going to say, just quickly describe the difference for myself and the audience. I have the rule book open, but I just want to make sure.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, the bold attack being is you want to just sort of boost from the outset, like boosting now, or if you want to wait to see what your target's response is. But if you do the benefit of doing a bold attack is that even if it misses, you do wear on the adversary's on the adversary's attribute that you're attacking.
So
defense. You're doing wear on the on their defense, even if you miss. But if you'd rather wait to make sure you might be more successful, you can try doing a sure attack, and just sort of give the charm number and see what they do, and then decide if you want to boost it.
Yeah, I'll say this. Well, Vasilisa wants to go bold, and she wants to boost hard and heavy, and as tensely as impossible. And I have a variety of traits that apply. Okay,
what do you want to use
She's very convincing.
for the bold attack?
Okay. Am I allowed to use more than one or just one? Because
so you can use one trait to boost. You can also use an edge to help you to do additional potential damage. If you when you're going in with it.
Okay.
That's correct.
I think I'm going to
the
go
stress.
in. Yeah, I think I want to go in and be extra convincing. Use my extra convincing trait. Which is a plus.
Okay, now is that the one that is where you're always boosted for it, or is
always boosted on challenges to convince someone or tell a lie?
Okay, so that's actually not even gonna necessarily. I'm trying to think about this. Melissa, is that something that will still count as a bold attack if they're not spending a thing, or?
It does not cause wear. You're on the right track. Yes. So if it misses, if it doesn't land, because it's always boosted, it will not reduce the defense of the target.
Yeah. So it's like, it'll still, so the advantage there being you don't have to spend anything and you can still have a higher number.
Okay.
Does it count as a sure attack then, basically, if they don't use anything to?
I have two that are always boosted that apply, being the Master of Deception as well as being extra convincing. So inherent attack and extra convincing are always boosted.
Yeah. So yeah, the question I guess I'm just wanting to clarify with Melissa is if they don't spend anything to get the effect of wear, is a thing that is always boosted when they attack with it. Is that something that, if they don't spend that, is that considered a sure attack?
I think I would still call it a bold attack because you're boosting up front. With a sure attack, you don't have to boost at all. You're delaying the option to boost.
Yeah.
But with a bold attack, you're saying going whole hog, and you're not boosting with anything else. So I guess the only thing you're boosting with, right? You don't get an extra option to do so.
Okay, so yeah, so basically, Daisy, if you want to use that by itself, then that'll be considered it'll be considered technically a bold attack, but it's not going to do any wear necessarily if you happen to miss.
Okay.
And so that's kind of would it be worth it to also use an edge here, or
I totally would love to use an edge. I'm throwing incredible threat. Olegovich has seen me commit acts of violence. He's seen me commit many acts of violence. I'm one to be feared and loved.
So I take it somewhere in the note you mentioned these acts of violence or something that
it's wonderful. I have both. Remember that dark red lipstick in the golden tube?
Yes.
I apply that and I leave the most wonderful, but he knows that is also the kiss of death if he does not show.
Okay. So, what does that make the number then if you're again, so your charm is boosted.
So my charm is a 4, and then I use credible threat, and then I have 2 traits that lead to me always being boosted. So extra convincing and inherent attack.
Okay. So it means it's just going to be boosted to, it'll be doubled. It'll be it's going to be boosted to 8. And you're trying to attack the nerve, and that's going to hit because even if I boost the nerve, as it turns out, I don't even have to give you this much information necessarily, but I am generous with these things. Even if I boost my nerve, I'm not going to be able to hit it because you're trying to at least equal the what you're trying to hit. So that actually is going to hit. Okay. So that will do a second stress box to the search, and I'm going to take the affliction. What affliction shall what shall we call this affliction? Something to be gained. That's not too terribly long. Yeah. Or someone to be gained. All right. So, so you're going to make this dead drop. And it's probably, time is going to need to pass before you find out if it's successful or not. But what you will get.
Oh,
sorry?
I was going to say, that's wonderful because it gives us time to set up at the barn our snatch. Rope him. Tie him up. Feed him to Nessie.
You're going to get an invitation, a mysterious invitation at some point between now and your next turn. You're going to get an invitation to there's a football game that's happening. And you receive an envelope with a ticket to this football game with a specific seat marked. That's happening locally.
Is it addressed to me, Vasilisa, or my alias?
I think it's if it's coming to you at the at Eat Here, then it's probably addressed to your alias.
Got it. Oh, I love to get letters in the mail. It's so rare. Yeah. It's good news. I've never been to a sport.
Yeah. Apparently, the Caledonians are playing Thistle today, which are two local teams are playing. So that's That's the thing that they haven't.
Football is such a complicated game too.
Yeah.
I have no idea what's
It's-
going on.
Yeah,
Or
they're
how to
ultimately
win.
they're in the process of forming a. They're actually in the process of joining together as part of the same. They're part of the same league, but it's there's multiple teams sort of trying to come together. Anyway, so you've noted that there is some success there, and that there will be conversations happening probably soon, of some kind. Also, something you will know is that you don't know if he's actually here or not, but if he isn't, he will say that there's a response, so someone is here. so there's someone who wants to talk to you. So next we have Jan Jansen.
Yeah, I am at a bit of a loss as to what Jan can be useful for at this moment. I can, you know what I mean? I'm not quite sure where Jan has a lead at right now in terms of what I'm doing.
Well,
And I'm confused.
Well, there are a couple things that are good here, always. One is that whatever it is that you happen to be doing is something that's going to advance the plot one way or the other. That's just sort of how the system is set up, so it can be almost anything. The other thing is also you're allowed to ask for help. So if you need sort of a prompt or something, anyone have any thoughts for something Jan should be trying to tackle?
I was
right now?
wondering. The only thing I really thought of is Jan is very good at sort of identifying tech. I was wondering if maybe Dante wanted to go on a joyride with me and ride around and see if we can find anything that's just not right. Does that make sense?
I'm also thinking of this whole history with this program, which means you probably have secret knowledge. So what we know is, right?
Yeah, I had one meeting with these people.
Yeah,
about
but like
theory.
the ancestral realm. You've got I just feel like you've got this.
Oh, I do not have any. I'm not one of those people.
One of those people.
One of those. I'm not like Ivory. I can't. Flash a sparkler at Nessie. That's not me.
So
I probably shouldn't be that either.
You also know Walker, right? So what we know is that our Morgan Finley was sent up to Clyde to go drop off some information. He went up there, and then we haven't heard back from him.
Then he kept going. Yeah.
We find out that he and Walker, who's the only person who knows all the details of Chevalier.
Chevalier. Like
Chevalier.
Cheveline.
Cheveline.
I like it.
Miss Cheveline by Katie Lang. Yeah. Cheveline. That the only person who knows all of that detail went with Morgan Finley out towards Inverness.
Out here. Yes.
We also know that this is just a recap, right? So we also know that people do not remember Finley being there. People are like, we have no idea. Like, clearly Finley did some stuff to make sure that people did not remember that he left, which looks suspicious. We know that this Cheveline was about sending nuclear weapons through the astral plane to get them around security defenses and get them go longer to attack the Soviets. We know that Finley has a relationship with Legovich, which could be disconcerting. We also know that the people of the Fey Court, or the people who hang out in that astral plane, really, especially Nessie, really don't like technology and find it quite offensive. So the question is Finley planning to hand over Walker to the Russians? Is he doing something at the behest of Nessie in the court? Right? And I suppose the question, because there are a couple different options of what's going on here. He's either maybe betraying us that way to the Russians, or betraying us to the Fey Court, or trying to stop the Fey Court from murdering us all. So there are a couple different spaces, and we don't really know which direction they're headed. First, we don't know physically where they are, but we don't know what their motivations are. And so I'm wondering if your history with having known Walker, or having been sort of inside of that moment, might give you an insight that would, because you've been up here, right? You've been up to Clyde before.
I don't think I was I here? My understanding is that I was not here.
If you're talking about the naval base, then no, that wasn't on the naval base. That was somewhere else that they had the meeting. That where you met a few months.
So are we solidly before the CCTV mass surveillance situation in the UK?
Yeah.
Okay, because all right.
So, because I'm wondering if like some of your background might already give you like a way in to find out.
See,
something.
that's what I was struggling with, because my understanding is that I had one meeting with them in England, and that's sort of the extent of my personal knowledge of Walker anyway.
Right. That incident that happened up north, right? The incident during the fishing war.
Oh, way north. Yeah, like what? Northwest.
So,
because we're pretty northwest, right?
Oh, that incident happened on the ocean, did it not?
Yes,
Yeah.
Off the coast of Iceland.
Mm-hmm.
So
Way
are
over
you?
there.
Is Jan the sort of person who would bug someone's equipment? Like, this meeting is weird and sus. I'm gonna just slap a little tracker on this thing. Who cares? Who knows if I'll ever need it again?
That does make
sort?
sense. Is that okay? So in this game, is this something that I can do retroactively to make things happen in the present?
Oh yes, we're all narrating.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. He's definitely an F the system kind of guy. He doesn't believe any of these people, and he's genuinely surprised that they would let him go somewhere that they could not survey him.
That's because you're subtle, except for the joyriding part.
So maybe there was something where it's like you found out either Walker already has surveillance on him, or you somehow was like, here, hold on to this, would you? Or just so that it was something you could be sure that he was going to hold on to.
Yeah, maybe I just I write up stuff with my pen or something, and he's the type of guy who will steal a pen.
Yeah.
Oh, the worst.
And so you want to try to so maybe the attack would be to want to try to locate him using that, basically.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, I do.
Sounds good.
I also love the idea of you having all of your pens bugged, so that whatever jerk steals your pen is just immediately getting a spy
you just have a
pen.
set of them. So
Absolutely, and then he will break
into
their houses, get the pen back, and leave a note that just says, "Don't steal pens." It's a moral good.
That is some radical librarian shit.
Do you
I'm
also
here for it.
steal some of their stuff while you're getting your pen back? As
No,
like,
that would be immoral.
Oh,
That's
right.
ridiculous.
Right.
That would be wrong.
Right.
He's just he's stateless and isn't allowed to do much, so he's up to tricks. This is how Jan has fun. Okay. Yes, I want to try to find the thing that I stuck on Walker.
Okay. So, what do you want? What kind of attack is this? This sounds like a mind attack, perhaps.
Okay. You tell me. I have no idea.
Well, it depends on what you want to do, but I'm presuming unless you have some sort of charm thing going on with your equipment, then where you want to just be incredibly charmingly using this to detect people, I think it's probably mind.
No, I am not good at being charming. So
okay. So I'm guessing it's probably going to be a mind attack.
Okay.
You're attacking the adversary, which is the search.
Mm-hmm.
And this is probably this could be. I could see this being either an attack on wits or on nerve. I'm feeling like this leans more toward wits, just because it's like a question of like, are you smarter than whoever has him? As far as it being like, wait, there's a pen, that kind of thing.
Yes.
So I'm guessing you'd be making a mind attack on wits.
Okay.
So you get to choose what kind
Let's
of attack.
do wits.
Okay. So do you want to do a bold attack or a sure attack?
Let's be bold. I do think I have some edges that will contribute.
Okay.
Yeah. So like it seems like prior research because I planted this thing already.
Okay, yeah, you can use prior research for this,
Can
I would
you-
think.
And
You can only
I
use
also
one
have,
edge per
Oh.
attack, but you only need one. Otherwise, it's going to be redundant.
Okay.
So
How do skills go in? Because I also have
you
surveillance.
can burn a
as
skill to you can burn a skill to make the boost tapping, to make the bold attack happen.
Okay.
So, what
Cool.
skill do you want to use?
Surveillance.
Surveillance, absolutely. Okay. So yeah, all you do is you cross out surveillance basically. So you've used that skill
Okay.
for this conflict, and so what? So when you what is your mind? What is your mind stat?
My mind is 3. My wits is 4.
Okay, so your mind is 3. That's what
Mhm.
you're attacking with, and so when you boost that, it's doubled. So that's a 6.
6. Cool.
And you're attacking the wits of the adversary. And let me see. What do I want to use here?
Do we get to know? No, we will.
Well, you'll
we
find out
only
if you
know-
you'll know if you
Yeah.
succeed or not. I'm about to let you know.
Okay.
I just have to decide what I want to use.
Yeah, I will say once someone throws out an 8 or a 10 and it hits or doesn't,
And we
the
know
numbers
something.
all have to add to 7, right? And so you can the
Oh.
core stats always add to. Am I right? Yes, 7, and then the defenses are subtract -1, so you can
Yeah.
start to fill out that little.
So we've had a
Okay.
successful 6 right now, right?
We had a 6 that was successful. We had an 8 that was successful on nerve, which means that apparently I can't boost nerve high enough to so we know that the nerve of the adversary is at least 4, basically. I'm trying to decide what I want to burn here to think about this. Perfect.
Avery, you did a
Okay.
6 on nerve, is that right?
I did, but the adversary did not boost to defend. The
Yes,
adversary just
because-
decided to take it.
Yeah, I decided to take that. I decided to take the hit.
There is a trait that lets you just ask the
really?
narrator.
Yeah,
I think
yeah,
so.
that's true. By and large, I think the way that I tend to run these things, that trait becomes close to redundant because I'll just tell you whatever.
Yeah.
But no, definitely. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna burn espionage, the espionage skill. And where are you when you are trying to
shit.
tune in?
I'm in eat here.
You're
Yeah,
here. Are you like at one of the tables, or are you in like a room in the back or something?
Be in the bathroom.
Okay, so you're in the bathroom of Eat Here, and you've got like some sort of radio kit. You're trying to listen in, figure out. Okay.
Yeah, it's like a
right.
briefcase, but the whole thing is a monitoring device.
So you hear it, and it's like, and then a very familiar voice suddenly comes on. Hello, Jan. It's been a while. And that is the voice of Morgan Finlay. We are going to take a break now
Oh no!
and come back and see what happens with this little conversation.
Oh my.
Oh,
Very
good.
nice.
Morgan's here.
We shall be back in a
Hooray.
moment. I actually,
Yay!
and one thing I just want to,
All of our answers, all of our questions will be answered now.
I don't know, that tone was kind of distressing. That's all.
No,
Because-
this is nothing but positive.
By the way, I burned espionage, and that meant that as you were attacking with a 6, you know now that is not going to. Let me make sure that. Wait a minute. Let me just check a thing because I think I did this right, but it's been a minute. You were attacking the woods. Yes. Okay. Excellent. Yeah. That the 6 did not hit on the wits when it is boosted.
Okay.
So,
Nice.
we actually, some time ago, I recorded a couple of interviews with Melissa and also with Greg, the other creator of this system, and anticipating doing this as a one-shot. And we never actually got to that. That never happened on this channel. So I'm going to play that interview now.
Oh, nice.
Over the break.
I have no idea what we said then.
Well, we'll find out shortly. We'll see you in a little bit. Hey folks, I am here with Melissa and Gregory Avery-Weir, the creators of Rosette Diceless, the game that you will have been hopefully watching us play over the last hour plus at this point. Hi, how's it going?
Hey,
Hello.
It's going all right.
Yay.
Thanks for talking to us.
Yes, definitely.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for coming and talking about this. I guess the first thing we should probably just talk about is how Rosette Diceless came to be. How did it come to be?
Well, it stems out of I guess primarily just a long role-playing career from both Melissa and myself.
Mhm.
The core of the system comes from an old project that I worked on in 2009, I think. That was originally called Lore. That's just like basic stat stuff and beginnings of sketching out the system that was the sort of thing that I was interested in running as a GM. But that game is nearly unrecognizable in the final system. And I think
it's been through a lot of iterations. It's been through renaming multiple times. It's gone from having dice to not having dice.
But both Melissa and I have a decent amount of live action role playing experience, LARPing experience, kind of the theatrical vampire, the Requiem and stuff like that. And in part, Rosette Diceless is designed to address some of the issues and things that we had problems with when we played those LARPs, and ran into like problems with the community of people out of character not really being in sync with the sort of drama that was happening in character, and just sort of trying to make a system that was not only designed to enable safe and healthy and nurturing play, but kind of made it hard to be a jerk in the game.
That's the hope. Yeah, we wanted to set things up so that you could explore risky things in character without feeling like you were putting yourself at risk by doing so. Because we definitely saw a lot of bleed between in character and out of character when we were doing LARP, and it's rough. Like it's really, it's very stressful to go in and play a game for an afternoon with people who are relative strangers, and try to step into a system dealing with some hard stuff and it not go well. So yeah, we definitely wanted to kind of say like, okay, so what is an ideal environment here? How do we set ourselves up so that we can talk about these issues? Because things are going to get uncomfortable. How can we make space to talk about things that might be building up, or topics that you just want to like say, not today, right? Like just, take this off the table, or let's please try and incorporate some difficult topics. So yeah, the system is kind of like trying to create that environment, or I would say more than just enable it, right? Like we kind of were like, here, please do this.
Yeah, and that's resulted in our consensus-based focus and our nothing can happen to your character without your consent, and also things like the fact that we're trying to enable kind of any character archetype to work, so you can have a successful character in a situation even if you're not the warrior that can always defend yourself, right? Because we've certainly ran into issues where very cool characters kind of don't get to shine because they if you're the cool social person, you also have to spend character points on like
like being frozen, apparently.
Yes.
Well, it wouldn't be one of my streams without a technical glitch. Could you tell us a little bit more about the consent-based principles that are baked into the game?
Yeah, so some of our experiences with just stuff that can go wrong in games has led us to focus on a consensus and consent-based approach where everyone works together to shape the story, and nothing can happen to your character without your consent, which means that takes away a lot of that feeling that other people are forcing a story onto you that you don't, as a player, want to participate in. And
Exactly.
yeah, and that consensus also means that you can play the character that you want to play and not have to worry that like you need to always have combat skills in order to defend yourself against some other character or some storyline that's going to be trying to kill you, because you can play the character who, you know, goes and hides when there's a problem and, I don't know, tries to talk it out or sneaks around and helps the people that are more combative if it's a more violent campaign.
And if someone is very interested in playing with failure, quote unquote failure, right? Like dramatic failure, there's room for that too. Like you can play a character that takes the blows, right? Socially or otherwise, whatever that is. And have that drama of, okay, I'm no longer able to participate in this fight. I'm incapacitated. So what am I doing, right? And depending on how you build your character and how you want to play that, there's just as much room for that because it shapes the story, as there is for like I succeed and have, you know, this different kind of arc for my character.
It means that it's much more impactful when someone does say, yeah, my character gets shot. Like a bullet goes into me, I am bleeding now. Like that is so much more dramatic than when it happens in a lot of role-playing games where it's just like, well, yeah, you know, you're in a fight, that's going to happen.
It's round 3, yeah.
And that's, I think, one of my favorite things about the system is that the story is about whatever it is that the characters are doing, and that's reinforced by the mechanics. And so that's really the coolest part for me, I think. Very cool. Well, we're going to head back at this point and see whatever it is that the group I'm currently running is up to. And we'll be back for a second round of this a little bit later. We'll talk a little bit more about the game. So see you soon. we are returning. And we have a little conversation to take care of real quick.
Uh-oh.
Assuming. So one question, Jan, I ask is this system that you have, is this something you can also transmit with, or is it just listening?
I think Jan can transmit with it. I think he's got the ability to do that. Whatever he does. Yeah. He can figure it out if he needs to.
Okay. So you're going to you've just heard Morgan's name, Morgan's voice on the other end, speaking to you directly. And he'll ask you, "Are you there?"
Yes.
You don't have to do this. It's going to be all right.
What this are you talking about, Finley? I didn't do much.
I
Here
assume
because I was called to be here. Why are you here?
I've got business I need to take care of that's going to be important for all of us.
Important in what respect, Finley?
I can't talk about that.
Then why are you talking to me?
Well, because I know that, you've got... I know you know what it's like sometimes when to feel like an outsider on these things. There's stuff that I can't talk about to everyone. And I know that the way things currently are, in a bit of a vise. And I just want to try to give you a little bit of a leg up here. I just want to relieve it a little bit if I can. I just want you to know it's going to be all right.
All right. Everything's going to be all right. Is that... In what sense is it all right? I mean, I know what they're up to. There's nothing particularly all right about that, is there?
What I'm doing is very important for us to maintain the peace. That is the objective.
Exchange believes that you're operating well outside their bounds.
Well, sometimes there's a lot you have to do. Sometimes you have to color outside the lines to do your job. I know you understand that.
I suppose that I do.
Listen, I just don't want... you know what how troublesome this whole area can be to folks like us. So, look, I just wanted to let you know I'm fine. It's going to be all right. But you need to get out of here. Just get everyone out.
I don't believe I'm at liberty to do that, Morgan. Why don't you just tell us where you are? And we can help you.
No. It's a little late for that, but I appreciate the effort. You don't want to turn back, then, well, I'll see you when I see you, I suppose.
What I want has not mattered in years. I'm not allowed to.
Well, if we do happen to see each other, then perhaps I'll be able to offer an alternative. I gotta go. Take care. And
you too.
You hear the and the sound of, like, the unmistakable sound of a pen being broken.
Oh, that's my pen! No. My pen! Not my
does that mean you're going to get revenge now? And this is where the moment happens. They get the close up, right? And
This is the John Wick and his dog moment.
Oh,
Exactly.
Oh no!
My pen!
Except it's a pen.
Except it's a pen. That's fine.
Love it.
It's all good. I'm gonna whip right out of this bathroom, shut up my briefcase, and find whoever is still in here, who is not Vasalisa's blissfully ignorant husband.
Ah, yes. He's happily behind the grill flipping pancakes right now. Anyway.
Flipping pancakes, flipping bacon pancakes. I flip the pancake.
That's gotta be kind of rare up in Inverness. Like
They're not
brittle-
exactly
brittle
pancakes, but they look kind of pancake-like.
Yeah. Scottish wheat cakes.
They are insert local food here that Jim did not have time to research.
British
They're
pancakes are
hamburgers.
they're like thick crepes. They're delicious.
Yeah.
then they're made of haggis.
entirely possible. Strangely enough, it's time for the adversary to attack.
Do they really want to, though?
I've
'Cause
hit
maybe
the
they don't feel
adversary's
like
turn.
Mm.
Kind of. It's feeling the need. It's feeling the need. So let me see. So let's see. Who all do I want the adversary to attack right now? Let me actually turn in the book so that I can remember. Because if it's because there's I remember the term crisis attack. I'm trying to remember what the other term is for the other type of adversary attack.
Good gravy. We changed that term.
A
Not
gravy
that term.
attack. Actually,
Yes.
yeah. A good gravy attack.
A good gravy attack's the name of that dish Banner Wallace was making.
Yes. He's pouring a lot of gravy on whatever it is he's cooking right now. Threaten each character individually with direct environmental or circumstantial stress, or a crisis attack push forward the consequence as a whole, making the characters resist or deal with personal consequences. There we go.
And the main adversary needs to attack everyone.
Yeah.
It is only when you fracture out to little folks that you target individuals.
Yeah. So,
Or that you target a single individual, I mean. Sorry.
it's only when what did you target a single individual?
Oh, it's only extras and experts that
Target single
attack
individuals.
only a single
Gotcha.
character. The adversary attacks everyone.
I understand now. All right. So, yes. I think actually this attack, strangely enough, is in part going to come in the form of John basically, John coming out. Presumably you're coming out to inform everyone that you've been made.
Yeah.
So I assume there are processes here. So who is still currently at the at the? I don't know if anyone else is at eat here. I think right now, if I remember right.
Where's Digger?
Was Digger at Loch Ness, or was Digger still at eat here?
I have disappeared into the streets of Inverness.
Ah, okay. So I guess that there is a, yeah, so I think what's going to happen, and this is going to happen a little bit over time, right? So I don't have to address this as the immediate scene per se. I can advance time. So, yeah, Jan, you knew that they were heading to, that some folks were heading over to, a couple of folks were heading over to, to try. I think Ivory probably told you that she was going over to try to talk to Nessie.
Yeah.
And that's probably the only one you've heard from directly. And so Ivory and Dante were supposed to be heading over there.
Okay.
Everyone else you probably agreed to meet back at a certain point. So
Yeah,
I assume yeah, go ahead.
I guess in that case, because they do need to know, I would grab a gravy cake and make it to the Loch.
Okay. Yeah, so you're probably going to be making it to the Loch and over to Urquhart Castle just as sort of there's this long pause that's been happening as Nessie has been sort of staring down. And I think the immediate problem, let's see, yeah, is going to be seen more directly by Digger and by, yeah, I think this is going to end up attacking people in different ways. It's going to be seen more directly by Digger and by Vasilisa.
Okay.
First. And,
oh yeah, we're kind of out in it.
yeah. You're going to start to see, both of you are going to start to see it's like someone, you'll both, wherever you are currently in Inverness, you will notice that that someone seems to be tailing you. Quite possibly. People are looking... You ever get that feeling? Where there's this feeling that sometimes you'll get where you see people, and every now and then it's like, wait, are they trying to... Are they observing me right now? And both of you, wherever you are right now, you note this happening. I think that as Jan is arriving at Urquhart, and you're sort of trying to run into the castle, you will note that a truck is pulling up outside also.
Okay.
Where people are just sort of there. It's not like you're not. It looks a little suspicious. It's actually an old beat up truck.
Mm-hmm.
But there's something off. Because they pulled up damn quickly as they're just sort of they're heading down there. So the attack that I'm going to be so I'll tell you folks what the attack is. You'll each let me know how you are responding to this attack.
Mm-hmm.
So let's see. This is going to be an attack on nerve. Yeah. I think the adversary here is trying more to spook you than anything else, so it's a charm attack. So I'm going to, yeah. Ooh. No, I haven't revealed that in the narrative yet, so it wouldn't make sense for me to use that trait. Instead, I'm going to use, I'm going to burn the skill Destabilize. So this is going to come in boosted. As you see, it's quite suddenly, you've got people following you. You're looking over your shoulder. Everyone is noting, or will note shortly, that that people are following you. So that's going to be. Let's see. Let me switch over to this one. As you note that there are people coming after you. So the adversary is attacking boosted with a 6 against each of your nerves. And so I'm going to start with the people who are out in the field, and then I'm going to pull it in. So I guess I'll start with Ivory. How are you not Ivory. I guess I'll start with Vasilisa. How are you responding to this note that it looks like there are people out looking around that possibly might be trying to follow you.
I think it's
People in
one of
denim.
those. Yeah, I think it's one of those situations where some people following me is a very bad thing, but everyone following me may thwart their plans. So being a prima donna, social butterfly, one who can draw the attention of a crowd and a room, I think Vasilisa, no, I assume, is she at the football game?
We can say that you're approaching the football game. Yeah, that's it's. Let me see if I remember what that field was called. It's not there anymore physically, but the place that you're heading over to is the Telford Street Park.
Telford Street Park.
I'll actually, yeah, I'll go ahead and I'll see if I can mark that also on the map in just a second while we're looking at this stuff.
Yeah. Well, here's how she responds. It's going to be one of those things where there'll probably be some hooligans and sorts, and she'll be like, "Claddies, sing with me the songs of the fatherland, O flower of Scotland. When will we see your like again? That fought and died for your wee bit hill and glen." And I'm going to get them all. That was almost Scotland's national anthem, mind you. And it's just kind of like, come, brethren, let's sing the songs of the fatherland and let's get together. So it's going to like draw a big crowd of rowdy sorts. So you're going to follow us. Well, these are my homies now. Oh, I know how to do this.
Awesome. So trying to draw too much attention, basically, to avoid the people following you. I was
just say mechanically, so I have this ability, this engaging presence where I'm always the most interesting person in a room. So it's just kind of like, all eyes, come on. If they were going to have someone sing the national anthem here, it would be me. I'm Celine Dion of Scotland.
Oh, God.
Excellent.
That's the best thing ever. I'm into it.
That's actually just Celine Dion.
Is there an edge on this attack?
Yes. I'm sorry. It's as part of the. Yeah, that was should have been part of the description here. Let me actually once again also open up the thing, because I just realized I attacked using charm, so I actually should use an edge that is appropriate to that. Let me go ahead and reopen that so that I can remember those. This is I feel like this is. Let's see. So there are two ways I can go with this, actually, and I need to further describe so that I can bring this edge in effectively. There is a. I can either go with useful trait, or I can and reveal this here, or I can. I think in either case it's going to give us the same thing, but no, I'm gonna. I'm gonna use. So the people that everyone is seeing here. They are most of these people are clad in denim of some kind, denim or leather. Some of them have sort of chains on them a little bit. They look very biker gang-ish. Sort of like these big burly gentlemen who seem to be all of the people who are following. And they are, as some of them are doing so, some of them are like, the ones in the truck are just sort of like, very violently kind of swinging in. into park. The ones who are following are like sometimes shoving people out of the way a little bit. Most people are staying out of their way, but I'm going to use credible threat, basically here, as the edge. So these folks definitely look threatening, as they are coming in. So it is with an edge. So this is a bold attack with an edge. And so
It's my favorite cocktail.
yeah,
Have a bold attack with an
bold
edge.
attack with an edge. That'd be great.
As long as it has Midori in it or like an umbrella, I'm good. I'll
Need to
take
go
it.
and
I
order
feel
one
like
of
Gregory
those.
and I need to design this cocktail.
That'd be
it's-
great.
If it's the system with this lingo, we should have an accompanying
I love it.
cocktail.
So yeah, so it's coming in again with that edge, with a charm of a boosted charm of 6. And Vasilisa, you said that you are gathering people to be celebratory. You're singing this
Yes.
this, and what is your and this is trying to attack your nerve. So are you doing anything to boost your nerve, or are you what is your
Yeah.
What are we
So,
doing
would it, let's see. So, can I use a quirk as a boost?
yeah? If you-
This would be chameleon. I am one of them, and I've always been one of them, beloved.
Excellent.
So chameleon. Yeah.
Okay. No, definitely. So yeah, you've brought that in, and you've now boosted it. What's your total now for your? Oh yeah. Let me explain. Just so that folks will know, it's basically you're adding in again one of the two things that make up that defense. So in the case of nerve, that means you're either bringing in your charm or your body. Again.
I'll bring
adding
in
that
my
to your nerve.
charm for my
Yeah.
body. I
Okay.
have none.
Okay. Yeah, so your charm is effectively doubled right now, which means you just add it again in this
8.
case to it. So it's a total of 8.
Yes.
Yeah, so that's that. Yeah, that'll beat it. So I presume then that they're gonna get sort of sloughed off. What does this look like as your what happens to the people following you?
I don't know if you had seen the 20th anniversary Les Mis concert where they have the 17 Valjeans, where Valjeans from all over the world all get together. So it happens as all these hooligans. It doesn't sound beautiful like that arrangement. It's more like frightening, almost as if the jaws of hell itself has been opened and loosed at the Ditham as a bunch of drunken Scots, warrior poets as they might be called, are just and they hold that for like 5 whole minutes, and like it goes and goes and goes way too long to where the Dems are like maybe later. Eventually they'll get hangovers and settle down, and then we'll find her. But I slip away.
Yeah, that's gonna be a definite. That's gonna be a definite.
If you think that music was good, you should hear the remix as well.
Yeah, that'd be great. So, moving on to the to Digger. As you're walking through the streets of Inverness, and you notice these big, sort of couple of big beefy biker folk trying to follow you. What do you want to do?
First off, wow, they are bad at this. Secondly, but then I realize, oh, they're not trying to hide; they're trying to intimidate me. Oh, that's adorable. Okay, so one of my traits is that I am innocuous. I'm always boosted on challenges to avoid notice. And I always succeed on such challenges when I'm in a populated, non-restricted area, unless something draws attention to me. So I'm going to. I am the anti-Vasilisa. I will do exactly the opposite of what she did. Although to some extent, I'm sort of doing the same thing. except I'm not drawing attention to how much I belong here. I just belong here. Suddenly, and possibly at this point unconsciously, I adjust my gait. If necessary, I remove my overcoat. Eventually, I steal someone's jacket. I blend into the crowd, and I become indistinguishable from any other individual in this crowd.
Excellent. Excellent. So what does that make your defense?
So this is an attack on my nerve.
It's an attack on your nerve.
Okay, so my nerve is 4, so
Okay.
boosting that is an 8.
What's your hang on. Just make sure your charm and your body.
Charm is 2, body 3.
Okay, so you're gonna probably be adding in body. So it'll be so you're doubling body. So that's gonna make it a 7.
Well, that makes sense. It is. It's literally a physical thing. Yeah, I am adjusting my my gait and my mannerisms and whatever else I need to do, including any sleight of hand or theft or shedding of clothing.
Excellent. Okay, so yeah, that is
body.
Yeah, it's
You're
a
right.
7. That still beats it.
Okay.
So yes, no, that'll be perfect. So what does this look like?
I realize what's going on. I realize that they're not trying to hide, which is actually worse. So I go into I duck into a pub. The most crowded one I can find. Oh, hey, football match is happening somewhere nearby, right?
Yes,
There's
there is a football
plenty
match.
of people in the pubs. Okay, good. Plenty of people in the pubs, literally pre-gaming. So I duck into the most crowded pub I can find. It's one of those that's kind of like a shotgun, meaning like it's just long and it has multiple entrances. So I go in one entrance. I no kidding, actually like buy a pint, take a couple of sips from it on my way through, drop it off in front of some rando, distracting him long enough to drop off my overcoat and trade it for the jacket he had sitting on the chair. So by the time I leave, I'm wearing his hat. Actually, that's not true. Someone else's cap and that guy's jacket.
Nice, perfect.
So I exit, and if it looks like they're still following me, I do variations of the same trick until I've lost them.
Excellent. Okay, yes, no, perfect. So yeah, they get lost pretty quickly, because you are an expert at this.
Yes, and these are, and they weren't trying to stealthily follow me. If that had been the case, this might have actually gone down differently. But in this case, yeah,
Absolutely.
This is what happens when you hire amateurs.
That's fair. Very fair. Okay. All right. So now let us move over to Jan. And we're going to kind of fold in the RP of notifying Dante and Ivory into this whole thing, because you notice these folks pulling up just as you're out of the vehicle. You've been approaching Urquhart Castle. So what would you like to do?
So I'm getting out. They're staying in their van.
Yeah, they haven't gotten out yet. They're pulling up right now.
Okay. Was it close enough that they saw me pull up or not?
You're not sure. You don't think they saw you immediately. You don't think they saw you pull up.
Okay. Cool. All right. I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go into the castle and get Ivory and Dante first. I'm gonna act like everything's fine. At this point, which I think Yana's bad at.
So when you step into the castle, you will see that they're sort of trying to communicate with something in some big thing in the mist.
Okay. I'll
What would you like to do?
I'm just gonna speak to you because I literally do not have anything else I can do. I'm like utterly mundane. Hey, there's people outside. They're here for us, I think. I spoke to Finley. He told me everything's fine and we should go away.
You spoke to Finley.
Sort of. Holds up his briefcase that he keeps with him all the time. With this. He told me he couldn't tell me everything, but that it would be for safety. Whatever that means. I really don't know what that means. Be good for keeping the peace. Why?
For the record, I keep my attention on Ness because I know that Ness does not like being ignored, nor likes technology. So I just kind of make sure that I'm standing so that I'm in between Ness and the technology in terms of vision, and I'm still paying attention to Ness so that Ness does not feel as if we are disrespecting.
Can I see Nessie?
Well, no one can see Nessie very well right now. There's a shadowy figure, there's a very large shadowy figure in the mist on the other half of this room.
Okay.
This big courtyard area.
Some point, Jan will just be like, "There's a big, hello, big shadowy figure."
It hasn't spoken.
There's guys outside in the van. Should I go fuck up the guys in the van? I can do that. Maybe.
Are we still setting up your defense of the attack? Or...
Yeah, right now we're setting up the defense of...
Okay.
I think while I'm doing that, I'm going to start repurposing one of my little pens that I have. And I want to do one of two things. It's like, if it's a surveillance pen, it has some sort of like electrical type thing. I'm of two minds about this because part of me just wants to jam the pen in their tires, and the other part of me wants to do something a lot more MacGyver-y, where like I can turn it into something that will like overload the battery in their van, and they're just like completely incapacitated. But it's a lot simpler to jam a pen.
And you can do either
in
one.
a tire.
I will say so all three of you will note, Dante and Ivory and Yon will now note that being able to see, because again, it's fairly open, you can look through things and you can see none of them seem to have spotted you directly, but there are people out, biker gang looking people out on the grounds out here of the area, not too far from Urquhart Castle, around Loch Ness. They're looking around. They're out walking around, looking around. So all of you are dealing with this potential being followed, being pursued thing at this time.
Okay.
But I started again with Yon. So what? So this is an attack on your nerve.
Mm-hmm.
And so you're defending by. Are you MacGyvering a thing, or are you jamming a pen in something?
I think I'm gonna MacGyver a thing because that sounds fun.
Okay.
MacGyver something with it. Where I'm gonna make like I'm looking around for something, then go back out and be like, I lost my favorite pen. I don't know where it is. And I'm gonna MacGyver a thing that if I can get it sort of like under their car somehow, that it'll just overload their battery and they cannot go, like their battery's dead.
Okay.
That's what I wanted to do.
So what? So it's coming in as I had as had previously stated. This was coming in with a 6.
Mm-hmm.
So against your nerve.
Yes.
What's your nerve currently?
My nerve is 3.
3. Okay. Do you want to boost?
If I do boost, I think I have to use a skill. And if I use a skill, is that it for the entire duration of this game, or does it come back after the session?
It is for the entire duration of this particular game anyway, because this is just gonna be one conflict. You can use a skill or a quirk. Or a tie. You could use a tie.
A tie, a quirk, a skill.
You've got Ivory and Dante right there also if you want their help on this particular thing, if you've got a tie with either of them.
You should have 2 ties, right? Yeah.
Oh yeah. I just don't have anything written down on the sheet. Yeah, if Dante wants to come out and help me look from a pen. or at least like create a distraction while I look around.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. That
would be great.
I do believe that he will probably be causing a distraction because not in a good way for him, but I imagine a good way for you.
Okay, cool.
Perfect.
Yeah, because I know what my negative traits are. So yeah. Mm-hmm.
What kind of distraction are you creating?
This will be my what I'm going to assume is a failed defense is what this is going to be.
Oh,
about,
yeah, we potentially can. We'll see. Yeah.
Because my understanding of their attack is that their attack is they want to invoke emotions in us, correct?
Yes.
Yeah. So I am going to fail my defense. And so I'm going to go out there. I'm going to fly off the handle and start attacking them. Like, I know they want us to like, they're trying to like evoke large emotions in us. And I don't do well when people try to do that to me. So my defense, my distraction is going to be the fact that I'm going to lose this defense because I cannot boost any defense that involves resisting strong emotions.
I can't either.
Because I am not so composed. So rather than that is my negative trait. I am not so composed, so I cannot boost my defense. So I believe that if you're trying to get me to have a strong emotion, that will succeed. And what I'm going to do is I hear that there are people out there who are trying to,
trying to intimidate,
cause us troubles. Yeah. And so I'm going to, like, you can see, right, that Dante just like, you can see like Dante's jaw tensing as like this idea that people are trying to like push us around, just you steam. And he's been trying to be very diplomatic to do the Nessie all this time. But once you point it out and he looks and sees these people, tough guys trying to intimidate us, right? He goes, too right. And he just storms right out, just right out of the place. And he goes, "Oi, Muppet!" And he just goes right at him, heads right towards them, like fists ready to go and start brawling. So if what they wanted was to invoke big feelings, that is going to be success because I cannot boost my nerve. So I'm at a 3 versus their 6.
Okay.
But that is, however, a tie. Jan, do you have not so composed as the negative trait?
I do have not so composed.
Oh, so you can't boost either.
Well, here's the thing, though. I think that because Dante is causing this distraction, I think that's going to at least give Jan the space necessary to be able to be sufficiently removed from it that I would let them boost in this instance using that tie. I think if that sounds good.
Because Dante doesn't even think about defending. Dante's like, nope, that's it, right? Nobody messes with me, right? Just right into it. Like you want me to get emotional, I will get emotional.
So Jan, what would your total be boosted?
Boosted, does that like double it?
No,
it doubles one of the attributes that goes into the defense. So it's your nerve. So it's either your body or your charm.
Okay, so those are both 2.
Okay, so you add another 2.
Yeah.
To your nerve, which is making it what?
5.
That brings it to 5.
Mm-hmm.
I was attacking with a 6, so that still unfortunately is not quite enough. So you are so what's going to happen with Jan and also with Dante, at least, and I'm going to get to Ivory in a second. You're going to each. They're attacking with an edge, so you're each going to take at least one stress, but you could, because they were attacking with credible threat, you could each take, they're gonna inflict 2 stress on each of you. If you want, you can turn one of those into an affliction.
Or block if we had an appropriate.
Or a block if you have an appropriate, thing that lets you block such things.
I don't think that I do.
Could I take an affliction, something along the lines of like, broken ribs, or because I imagine when I just fly off the handle and attack them, there are way more of them, and they have chains and also denim and leather, which is really good for certain bars and also beating up people. And I would posit that perhaps the affliction I take, so only take 1 stress, is something like, busted up, something along those lines.
That's perfect. That's perfect.
I have a question. So I've got this not so composed as a trait, but I also have extra composed as a trait.
Oh, bloody hell, you got the old one.
Oh no.
There was I thought I put a new version of that in there. Tell you what,
okay.
For now, we're going to ignore not so composed.
Okay.
For that sheet, for purpose of balance, and when I have a second between sessions, I will fix it.
Okay, cool. It might be I just grabbed.
Thank you for reminding me of that. I thought I fixed that one, but I might not have.
Okay, so in that case, then I'm always boosted on challenges to resist strong emotion.
Okay, yeah, they're still gonna be still gonna beat you, but at the very least, it's helpful in that case. My apologies for that being as weird as it was. I thought anyway.
That's okay.
So
I just want to make sure I wasn't missing something.
Oh, no, no worries.
And I just, for the record, I do want to point out, in case you want to know, I go in there to fight and I get beaten up really badly. Like,
yeah, that was. Yeah.
This is important to know that, like, I'm the big tough guy, and I go in there, tough guy, full on tough guy, and it's sort of like, oh yeah, and like, poof, and like, it's just like, it's not a lengthy fight. It is not a fight where I look like I know what I'm doing particularly well or am skilled in fighting. Just
yeah. So they're kind of wailing on you, using you as a target there. Jan, however, that still is going to hit you. That doesn't necessarily mean that they notice you. It can mean a number of things, but that's the cool thing about it is you get to tell me kind of how you're affected by this whole thing, and like Dante just did.
I imagine I got so distracted by Dante just getting walloped that I end up slightly shocking myself with this thing. So I'm just kind of like zapped just for a second, like one of my hands is gonna be a little tingly for a while. My hair's just.
Are you taking an affliction?
Yes, if I can.
Yeah, no,
that count as an affliction.
What do you want to call it?
I want to call it like fried.
Fried, absolutely.
Yeah.
So you can you mark your affliction down, and then you only take one stress.
Okay.
And now let's swing over to Ivory, who is the final one to respond to this attack. Again, they're coming in with a 6, which has an edge.
So I cannot block that. So I've got the artist, hopefully known as Ness, in front of me. Who could say, honestly? And then I've got this business going on behind me. So I'm going to take 1 point of stress, and I'm going to take the affliction between a rock and a hard place. I'm trying to keep attention to the clear, obvious threat. But, I'm fighting a war on two fronts, basically, right? Or, hopefully not fighting anything. So yeah, between a rock and a hard place.
Okay. So how does this affect you? What do you do?
So is there any reaction from Ness?
I mean, yeah, a little bit. There's like the head raises up a little bit and kind of takes note at what's happening. There seems to be a little bit of a swaying back and forth. The head's on the end of a long neck. You can kind of tell.
Okay.
He's just sort of noticing and is just sort of turning again and looking at you like,
Yeah. So Ivory keeps her eyes on Ness and sort of crouches down, closes the briefcase, relocks it, stands back up, and says, let's have that chat quick before the situation gets a little rough. And she's holding the briefcase in a unintentionally defensive position. Like the briefcase is being held in front, in a show of nerves that is unintended. And she kind of keeps glancing over to the stuff going on, but basically her back is to them, right? To the bikers or biker likes folks. So So yeah, she's definitely nervous and wanting to not be there.
Okay. Yeah, I think that the as you are between a rock and a hard place, there will be a little bit of looming cloud action coming forward as it starts rolling toward you.
Avery will lean back and take a step back, but then try to stand firm, but not, only for a moment, and then shuffle back another step, and then try to stand firm and shuffle back a little bit. But is getting pushed towards the folks outside, right? The
Well, yeah,
fight
if you
that's
don't want the
happening.
clouds to envelop you, then yes. But yeah, question of whether you want the clouds to envelop you or not.
Yeah, I'll keep getting pushed back.
Okay.
I'll keep stepping back. Yep.
Getting very misty out by the loch.
Getting herded over to the new problem.
But after they beat up Dante, they are basically and they have a laugh at the person that is trying to do something weird with their truck. They come out, they're like, ugh, and they're going to just sort of give you sort of this look, you're all on notice type deal. This sort of glaring look. They're gonna get back into their truck.
Dante's like, yeah, go, leave. That's right. That's right.
Dante.
I'm going to be looking at you as they drive away.
Be cool. Just be cool.
You okay?
Dante is not at all cool. He's not at all cool at this moment, like in any way.
Are you on your feet?
No.
Well, the next turn is going to go to Digger. So I think we're going to pop over and see what he's doing right now.
Not at all. It's like on one knee.
Okay,
Busted lip.
so Digger went into this with one plan, and the bikers changed it for him. So first off, can I tell if these were local lads that got conscripted for this, or were they brought in from outside?
It seems like, as far as you can tell, I mean, people knew to get out of their way, so they're probably local.
Okay, that's actually good news. In that case, what time of year is this?
It is summer.
Good. I'm heading towards the nearest ice cream truck.
All right.
And this is the UK. It's playing Greensleeves. So I head over to the ice cream truck because in Scotland in the 70s and 80s, the ice cream trucks were almost all entirely fronts for organized crime. So you could buy drugs, you could fence stolen items, and in this case, you could also get information, which is what I'm shooting for. So I am using my Friends in Low Places quirk.
Okay.
And because I mean, for obvious reasons, I try not to do too much work in Scotland because it's way too far north, but I have done work here, and more to the point, some of the bigger gangs, specifically the Wembley mob, have been expanding into the north recently.
They have.
So I know people, and in this case, I legit, buy some ice cream, but also give them the proper phrase and pay with what is it going to be? Pay with slightly outdated pound coins to show that I'm not here. I'm not just here for ice cream. And my goal is to get information on who hired the thugs. Let me rephrase that. My goal is to trace this back to the source. That's my goal.
Okay.
But the means by which I'm doing that are to find out who hired them, and then see how many steps that takes me to get back to where this came from. Because
Excellent.
I feel like we're dealing with more than just Finley at this point, and so what I want to come out of this with, eventually, if it's not this particular conflict, then sometime in the not too distant future, I want to know who's at the center of this.
Gotcha.
But right now, yeah, I want to see if what's word on the street? Who's been looking for thugs?
Okay. So, what kind of attack is this? Is this a charm attack?
Good question. Yeah, it might have to be charm. I don't know. Well, it doesn't matter because my charm and mind are the same.
Okay.
And I can't make a good argument for body. Not in this case.
I'm going to go beat people up until they tell me something.
Yeah. So because this is a social thing, let's call it charm, because it is like, hey, I do crimes. I want to talk about crimes, Mr. Crime Guy.
Okay. You want to do
unfortunately for me, it's a charm attack. But I will get to boost it with my quirk.
Mm-hmm.
And I think I need to apply the fieldwork edge to this.
Interesting. Fieldwork. You and leveraging tools and circumstances. Yep. No, that works. That works.
Yeah.
And so I assume this is a bold attack then?
It's gonna have to be.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't think I can.
And
yeah, it is. I don't have.
You're
I don't
attacking
have time to,
then wits, I would assume.
Let's think about that. Yeah, because if they're trying to hide, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. So what's your total?
Yeah, it looks like it's just my my charm.
Your charm
boosted,
times 2.
So it's 4.
4? Okay.
Yeah, unless we can come up with something else for me to add points to that, it's a 4.
So that will so let me take a look and see if there's anything I should want to use to block that with.
And the adversary does have wear on wits.
He does have wear on the adversary does have wear on wits.
Good. That's good. So if nothing else, this will whittle it down some more if it doesn't get through.
Yeah, no, that's fair. That's very fair. So you're not going to find out nothing.
Right.
But I think what we're going to do is I'm going to hit I'm going to hit subterfuge.
That makes sense.
To boost my wits. I'm boosting that to, let's see. Yeah, probably. So I'm boosting that up to 6. And so yeah, and so I've burned subterfuge. And so
does that make it a tie?
No, it says the digger is attacking with a 4.
I can only bring in a 4.
Yeah. So you do another wear to their wits.
Yeah. Knock it down a little.
What you're gonna do is I think. So you can tell me what you think this looks like, before I do any additional stuff here.
I feel like there are too many layers to this for the person at the level that I'm asking to really know the answer.
Okay. Is the person, so this is a Wembley mod person, yeah?
Yeah.
Are they from are they local or are they actually like up from further south?
Let's think about that. Nah, this person's come up from the south.
Okay, so they say maybe this is like another Londoner who's
there
there for whatever reason.
Yeah. So if nothing else, my accent probably might actually help.
Yeah. So you talk to them and they're like, oh, just a second, and you turn, and so this fellow who's been sort of sitting in a chair near the street just sort of a lawn chair, was just kind of been hanging out. He stands up. He's wearing a sort of a green faded jacket, and he kind of hobbles up, and is like, "Oh, you want to look at something?"
I'll just nod.
And just sort of nods to you, and you come around, and you find a spot a little further north near the not far from the canal. You were sort of in that area anyway,
Right.
So you're not far from the canal. So that second inlet, western inlet, as you head up to, you're just sort of walking north along the canal. He's like, and not too many folks are around. He's like, been a while, ain't it, Digger?
Yeah, I try not to come up north too long.
Yeah. And thought you were, yeah. You just sort of up and disappeared, didn't you?
Yeah. Well, sometimes you got to, right?
Yeah, I hear that. What are you doing about in these parts?
Well,
I thought last time you came up here you vowed never to do it again.
I did, but well, sometimes the money's too good.
Yeah.
But
yeah, I suppose
whatever's
you got an
happening
inside
with
track
these,
on something.
Mm-hmm.
You care to share with your friends?
If I can get things moving, I'd be glad to. Problem is, these denim wankers are attracting the wrong attention.
Oh. Well, you know how to pick enemies, don't you?
Yeah.
You got any idea who these folks are?
Was hoping you did.
Yeah. Now you see this water to my left, this little bit of water going up, goes up into the sea.
Hard to miss.
Yeah, this little bit, this canal, everything along it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they own it, they run it.
Great. Any idea what's at the top?
I mean, they've been getting real active lately. They've got something going down, but I got no idea what it is. We try to stay this side of the canal, if you know what I'm saying.
Right. Sounds bigger than you and me.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, they're they're all under, most of any of those businesses you see up and down on the west side. Yeah, that's all them.
Well,
bikes and boat repair and all that sort of thing. That's all them.
Fine.
They
something to work with.
They
Anyway.
got that locked down. Not bad at getting things in and out either, but that's it's kind of their business.
Well, it's too bad I've pissed them off. It sounds like they might be good people.
Oh yeah,
now.
no, they're nuts. They're nationalist types,
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Never went in for that myself. All right then.
Yeah.
Well,
I mean, you want to mess with. I mean, you want to mess with Turnbull. He's there. He's as high up as I'm aware they've got. But yeah,
always a bigger arsehole, right?
Operates a bike shop down there, but you don't want to take him on.
Well, not directly.
Yeah.
All right then. At least I know which direction to walk away from.
Yeah.
Cheers, mate.
Yeah. By the way, I did last I heard, Mickey kind of misses you.
Yeah, I've heard that too.
So
I also heard he was in jail.
yeah, a lot of people have heard that, haven't they?
Mhm. Well, I was supposed to be dead, so
Yeah.
things don't always turn out
Funny
like
how
we.
things happen. Yeah. We'll be seeing you.
Yeah.
So come back.
Well,
See if we can get some of that whatever pie it is you're getting distributed.
well, things cool down enough. I'll deal you in. Promise.
Much obliged. We'll be seeing you.
All right, and with that, I guess I'm heading back to eat here.
Okay. So, quick question. Folks, it is just a few minutes before 10. There is one more person left in this turn. Do we want to do one more turn, or do we need to go ahead and stop for the night?
If we get it done really, really fast.
Yeah,
my,
agreed.
My
Why don't
inclination is if it can be really fast, but I do have an early morning tomorrow. So
yeah. I feel like we might want to save it possibly.
Okay, we
For
can
next
start
time,
it
then?
next time.
That's kind of what I'm feeling more. It's Dante's going to be coming up next.
Yeah.
And we will find out what happens then.
Looking forward to that, actually.
But yeah, I
It's
think
not
that
so composed, like you try to, evoke those strong emotions. Then sometimes
First
that
round.
happens.
a
Yeah.
Lost
decent
your
place
composure.
to kind of pause it for a time. All right.
All right.
Well, we
Dante's
have
23 and frustrated about a lot of things.
Yeah.
we've hit time. But yeah, so no, we're getting into this. This is very cool. All right, we're gonna go ahead and go around and do our outros. Feel free to tell folks where they can find you, and any final thoughts you had for this session. And again, we're going in reverse order, and so we're going to be starting with Emma.
Oh, wait.
Hey.
Can I pose a question the way Trooper
Oh,
did
sure,
last
no,
time?
absolutely.
Yeah.
Yay! I'm so excited.
What
Sorry.
is each character's favorite article of clothing?
Ooh.
Favorite article of clothing? Absolutely, yes.
Mm.
Oh,
I love this.
All right.
we're over
Favorite
here.
article. I think Jan likes a good like a fitted jacket with like a very large collar, like 70s, like Navy style. That's how he rolls. My name is Emma Lambert. I am the CEO of WebDM. You don't see my face much, but I'm there all the time. I'm working on our book. I wrote 12,000 words for it last week, and I'm happy that we're almost there. If you like post-apocalyptic D&D, then pre-order our book.
What's it
and
called?
yeah. It's called Weird Wastelands.
Nice.
Yes, that is what it's called. And yes, it'll be out very soon. Thank you so much for having me. I'm excited to see what happens next. I really am.
Yay.
Hooray.
Awesome. Awesome to have you. And this is I'm really enjoying how things are shaping up. I wish the MacGyver attempt had worked. That would have been awesome.
That's okay. That's okay.
yeah.
I've decided at some point I'm going to attempt to MacGyver a Geiger counter. Like, I don't know how,
Oh, nice.
but it's going to happen.
I just feel like you need the ice cream truck. Because who knows what's in those things,
Seriously.
That would be great. That would be good. That would definitely be useful.
That's our next base of operations.
Absolutely. And speaking of the ice cream truck, let's head over to Brian.
I'm Brian Cooksey, he, him. I'm Veclam on all the things, and check me out on the Armor Ghost Clank podcast. What else? That's mostly it. Really had fun tonight. Let's see. Oh, favorite article of clothing. Actually, it's just a nice tan overcoat. You can't beat just a nice drab tan overcoat, which Digger is pretty annoyed by because he had to ditch one. So now he's going to have to acquire another one at some point in the near future. But yeah, looking forward to next week. Had a lot of fun doing this, and yeah, thanks a lot. This has been great.
Excellent. And now we're going to head over to Melissa.
Hi, so I'm Melissa Avery-Weir. I am one half of Future Proof Games, who we designed the system that we are using here. We are a two-person indie shop that does video games and this role-playing system. We try to focus on games that inspire what we call audacious compassion. So seeing the alien and the strange as human and relatable. let's see, Ivory's favorite article of clothing is a pair of maroon cowboy boots with like really interesting stitching on the sides, and a little bit of a wooden heel on it. And generally, this session, I loved it. I love seeing everyone's approaches to the situation. That's, there's a whole lot of ways to attack an investigation, and it's always cool to see like what the mood of a particular group is. And I think this group's doing cool. So,
yay! Awesome. And now over to Daisy.
Hey everyone, my name's Daisy Grant. I'm the girl of the hour, the girl with the power, the hit maker, the record breaker, the greatest attraction in sports entertainment today. No, you can find me online at A Wise Artist. I do things on the internet occasionally. Vasalisa's favorite article of clothing is a princess-seamed red crop top that's part of a two-piece jumpsuit. It has a V neckline and a lace-up back, and it is elegant and spicy.
Excellent. Any final thoughts on the session?
I absolutely loved it. Like, it's, learning a system is always near and dear to my heart. It's awesome to play with one of the creators and to have another creator in chat. I really like the vibe of the campaign, and I get to, live my wildest Cold War era spy dreams with a paranormal touch, which is what I'm all about. So thank you for making it happen, Captain.
Yay! Awesome. And now finally, over to Trooper.
Hey, am I muted? I'm not.
No.
Awesome. I'm TrooperSJP. Woo! So, favorite article of clothing, I'll go with that first. I think that Dante has a dashiki that he got when he was traveling. He was probably... not that being very poor, of course, he's never traveled, but let's say theoretically that he might have gone traveling abroad at some point in time and was able to, kind of sneak off from, theoretically, like if you had a bunch of people who are like watching you and be like on your best behavior all the time and you were able to sneak out and picked up this dashiki, and it is like blue and yellow, super colorful, and it was not very expensive, because he got it at a stall, and I think it's like his favorite thing, and he loves this, right? It's this thing that, and I think he actually got it when he was younger. He was probably like 15 or so when he got it, and this is this thing that he loves more than anything. It means a lot to him. He doesn't wear it a lot because it's so special. He doesn't want to like ruin it. Do you know what I mean? And so it's this thing that he sort of keeps. And it's like that thing where he's gonna wear it. It's when you wear it, it's serious. Like it's that moment where like this is a thing. If you're gonna go on a date or maybe do a really important thing, he's gonna wear his very, very special dashiki. And what do I think about this session? Well, the main thing I'm thinking about, I'm like, oh, what's so cool about this is that we have this challenge, right? And this challenge is going to span 2 different sessions, and it is like in many ways like there's this very cool way in which you're going through this main conflict that we're all dealing with, and I love that. And I can also imagine this thing could also be just used for a fight, right? So that this sort of conflict mechanic can be really small and narrow for like one debate or one fight, or quite large for we have this investigation, this mystery that spans locations and times and days. And I imagine, I don't know what's gonna happen, but I imagine that maybe after my turn next time, maybe it's like a day or 2 later, and then we end up doing the next round, so the conflict itself might take 2 or 3 days. Who knows? That's so cool. I love that. Like, I love the ways in which you have this one mechanic that can sort of span time and what you're doing in it. And I really love the fact that, they were trying to like intimidate us, right? And we got to sort of think about how does that work? Like for me, it meant that, because I cannot resist strong emotions, and I have to handle that. He's like, no, I'm just gonna like run into like the kind of damage, the affliction that I got. Actually, it was physical, because I just walked right into like their fists a couple of times, and but then Jan ended up getting like an electric shock, and then Ivory ends up being placed in a hard position. So like what the kind of damage you get ends up being something that is actually kind of cool and special and unique to your character in this situation. And I think that is like, love it. And so like big ups for
Agreed.
that. Like, yeah, very cool. I also like, I really also like the little bit of the game. You're like, okay, wait, if their defense is this, then what are we looking at? That means like maybe we should not be going against that, but we should like. There's like a really cool look. What I want in a game is strategy. In terms of, I want hard choices and strategy. I want to like people think like, how do I manifest my character? Like, what can my character do, and can my character do something that's like different than what you like? Than like, if we're all like tough guys, maybe we're all tough guys. Like my character is totally a tough guy. Maybe, but we can become tough guys in different ways. If the system lets me do that, then I really love that. And so big ups. And today is Wednesday, so you can find me on Friday at my channel TrooperSJP at 7 p.m. for City of Light and Shadow, which is a Fate French Resistance campaign that I GM. On Saturday at 4 p.m. Eastern over at Table Story, you can find me for this mini-series premiere of Tidal Blades, which is it's gonna be very anime and very wholesome. And I'm currently running Haunted West over at Roll20 on Tuesdays at 9 p.m. Eastern. And we just had our big session 0. We're gonna actually start that campaign for earnest on Tuesday. And I will wear a Western shirt. So if you want to see a Western shirt, you should come on Tuesday.
Awesome.
At Roll20 app. That's me.
Excellent. Yay. No, these two are things I also love about the system. It is awesome. Well, folks, once again, I'm Jim Ryan. You can find me at OtherDoc on Twitch and Twitter. My website is jimyesthatjim.com, where you can find my Geek Observation podcast and links to my various other podcasts, audio dramas, writings, and such. I have links down below to my various things. On Fridays, I'm usually over on Wandering Society playing in their Dresden Files campaign. On Saturday nights, we're going to start having Invisible Sun again sometime soon, next few weeks, once real life stuff has gotten sorted out. And of course, Wednesday night, we will have more of this. So come back and we will see how things unfold. And I'm very much looking forward to it. So when we hit the end card, I am going to send a raid over to somebody. I was not checking, so it'll be a surprise. So feel free to hang on and say hi to someone if you would like to do so. That will be when we hit the end card. In the meantime, folks, thank you all very much for watching. Take care, and we will catch you next time. Farewell.